What is up, everybody? It is tea time with Liz. Come on in. We are back for another fun and amazing live episode here on Tea Time with Liz and Friends. And hello, my friend. How are you tonight, Miss Joe?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing, for a Monday, child, listen, she doing real good today. She is
You
doing
know,
good. How about yourself?
for a Monday, it is pretty good. It is pretty good. I'm awake. Maybe it's because I had some sea moss today and
Listen,
a good nap yesterday. I don't know,
got that good Sunday nap. Listen, I tried, but I couldn't miss the Bears game. And I need everybody
Oh,
out here to say
did
a
the Bear,
prayer.
did the Bears win? I'm
No,
not
no,
into
no.
football like that.
Okay,
Did they win?
listen. We won't talk about it on tea time. That's a whole
Okay.
nother tea time. Okay? It's a whole nother tea time. It's football season. Hopefully, we don't lose any viewers on Monday Night Football, but nevertheless, they can always tune in on the replay. So let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know if you are watching the replay and that you are tuning here with us on Tea Time with Liz. Tonight, we have a surprise special guest, and I cannot wait to introduce who that is. But until then, let's get into these announcements, shall we?
Let's.
So our we don't really have any new announcements, but I am going to say this. Stay tuned because that pop-up is coming very soon, okay? That is all I'm going to say.
The
Stay
tea is
tuned for the
brewing.
tea, okay?
The tea
Stay
brewing.
tuned. But nevertheless, if you are not following us on IG and Facebook, please go ahead and like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, where you can catch up on all the tea that you miss. And you can catch up on even past episodes. Share them with your friends. Let them know, hey, sis, bruh, you need to listen to this episode because that is where you will find all of the great conversations that we've had thus far. Also, and we will continuously try to keep you updated on our profile, our platforms, excuse me, letting you know what is happening, what topics we're going to be talking about, just sharing some things with our hearts. So just stay tuned to our Facebook and IG platforms. Otherwise, if you have anything, any needs, go ahead and email us. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know, how do you like tea time? What topics aren't we touching that you want us to touch? We are not afraid to touch them.
Yes.
Trust that. But it would be lovely
Not
to
at
hear
all.
from you and let us know. Like I said, if we've inspired you, touched you, encouraged you in any type of way, we would love to hear your feedback. All right. What is coming up in October, Joe?
What's coming up in October?
October.
Um,
Huh?
October. You threw me off. I'm like, what?
She
Yes,
wasn't ready, you all. She wasn't ready. I
I'm
should
ready.
have. We didn't practice that. Huh?
She just threw that
Yes.
out there.
So
Okay, okay, that's
October.
okay. I caught it. I got it now. I got it. All
Got
right, all
it. Okay.
right. Okay. In October, if we call it October, Her,
Yes.
October.
Yes. Yes.
So we are talking about things that relate to her, the woman, women's health, women's related issues or concerns or situations. Doesn't doesn't mean that they're bad situations or anything. Just women situations. If you're a woman, you might want to check in. So first thing, we're gonna let's celebrate her. We're gonna celebrate emotional or talk about emotional health
Yes.
with Liz and I, and then we will also have another special guest um, coming up at the end of October as well. So you do not want to miss it. If you want us to touch on certain subjects, again, don't hesitate to reach out to us on our email, or you can inbox us on Facebook as well, and we will be glad to respond and try to reach out to those or reach those or go over those those comments. I'm sorry.
Listen, we all. This is real life. Okay. We don't rehearse nothing. Okay.
It's live.
It's live, so you get all the rawness. What is up, Miss Tamika? Thank you for tuning in tonight. I hope you are excited and ready for this tea, you all. Here it goes. All right, we're gonna get this episode started. We have been talking about self care, self I guess, yeah, just self-care, self-relationship in this month, as we have for the last probably what 6 7 months, we've been talking about different areas of relationships and tackling those, whether it was church relationships, intimate relationships, mother, daughter, just all of the relationships, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So we got to deal with ourselves. And so if you missed last time's episode talking about self-care, definitely go back and tune in. But tonight we are going to be talking about self-hate.
Woo.
Now, all of us is guilty, okay? So that's why we said no cap. There is no lie. We all have had some self-hate here or there. But I'm excited because we have a special guest, a surprise special guest at that, who is going to get us all together from the Windy City himself, but is residing here in the Minnesota area. Dr. Leonard Kane is going to be joining us here tonight. Go ahead and bring him up. Dr. Leonard Kane, hello. We are super excited to have you here on Tea Time with Liz and Friends. Welcome.
Thank you for that. It don't look like y'all excited. Y'all didn't jump and do no
Oh
flips.
my goodness. So, okay, y'all, you are in for a treat tonight,
We
okay?
only have this little bit of screen, so we can't do too much jumping. Give us a little bit of slack.
Send your emojis. Let them know you're excited.
All is well. All is well.
Well, Dr. Kane, for some of those who do not know who you are, you know you from we are all Shilohites, foremost Shilohites. No longer of us are there, but we still love it, nevertheless. And
There's
we
no
have
place like home.
definitely been able to grow as family. So we are grateful to have you on here. He's a great man of wisdom. He has multiple degrees. We made a joke here. When somebody said you could be anything, he is that. It's his picture, okay? It is his picture. You will see, because he can be anything. All right. But Dr. Leonard Kane, tell the people who you are and let them know who we got on the show tonight.
I would like to say, first, I'm humbled. I'm humbled to be on, in any capacity to speak to anybody about anything I've ever been through. Because as I learned, my life wasn't for me, it was be a testament to somebody else. So I kind of welcome the negative things that I actually go through so that I can be a blessing to somebody else. But at the same time, I got to be able to manage myself. So I think that that's what we're going to talk about this evening. I'm a pretty laid back kind of person. My daughter always say, Dad, you got this rest and be face. You look like you be ready to jump on somebody.
Literally, and he's not lying. If you catch him in the streets, don't be scared. You can say hi, okay?
Right. Most of the time I just be thinking about something. But I
Fact.
have gotten better. I wear my glasses more. I lift my eyebrows and I kind of nod and smile more. So, I'm growing.
Listen,
I'm growing.
oh,
I'm growing.
listen, growth is all we ask. That's it. And as you heard, he is a girl dad. So he's definitely going to help us women out here tonight. All right. So let's get into it. First question is, like I said, our topic is about self-hate. So what does self-hate mean?
Well, for many different people, you could think self-hate is like those that sabotage the things that they do in life. Like you might have a person, you would think that they would go all the way to college, or let's just say they get all the way to the 10th grade or the 12th grade, and third semester they drop out of school because they're it's called the self-sabotage. They're afraid to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people do things that hurt themselves, and really they don't think about it. I think a lot of that, you can also can tie into forgive me for saying this, mental health. Because when I think about the community that most of us come from or live in, a lot of self-hate go on, or a lot of mental illness take place, and we do a lot of self-sabotage because we are under the influence of the of the juice that's produced out there in the community. So sometimes you would think that a person would know exactly what to do in the life, but at the same time, do I want to be successful? Have I ever seen somebody be successful?
That's
Can
good.
we be better than just, we want to be basketball players and football players and things of
Right.
that nature?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
I went to the army at an early age. You know, that people say, "What? You went to the army? Why you go to the army? We don't fight in no war," and it's nothing of such. So when you think about, you know, self-hate, it all depends, I think, on the person that's doing the observation.
That's good. That's good.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
and that is a great perspective, I think, that to uh, talk about our way of how we look at life, how we see life. And it's always through our surroundings. It's always through, like you just said, observation. And so, therefore, if we are observing people on the juice, as you just said, or certain sticks, or things we roll up, we, we tend to, like you said, make our judgments, even within ourselves, to say, "Is this is all we can be, and this is all we can do." So that was great. Um,
And if I may say, something you just said just triggered something in my brain. So please forgive me. I read the dictionary like it's a regular book. So when you said judge, judge has like 23 different definitions to it. So you have like a judge that's like God or a deity. Then you have a judge like on a Supreme Court. Then you
yeah,
have a judge like on American Idol. All three of them are judges, but all three of them don't carry the same weight. And the
that's good.
etymology of the word judge, all it means to come to a conclusion. You know, people say, "Oh, don't be judging me." Yep, yeah, I am. I'm gonna do it because we're
That's
supposed
good.
to do it.
Mhm.
An
That's
apple
good.
tree don't produce cherries. Orange tree don't produce its plums. You know, we judge every morning when we get up and put on our clothes. We judge what car we want. We judge what hairstyle we want. But when it comes to looking at each other and telling us each other the truth, we won't do it. I just
Wow.
thought I'll put that on the table right there. We won't do it.
We
Wow.
won't do it. Okay. He trying to start a whole nother tea time
Wow.
already. Listen, Joe.
I'm gonna roll on to the next question before we dive off the deep end, okay?
Okay, we almost got there.
You
If
know
you
I
don't
like
got
the deep end.
notebooks, you
Before
better
we
get your
do,
notebooks tonight.
all right. Does one gender display self-hate more than the other? And if so, why or why not?
That's good.
Mm, you know, I can't speak from a female perspective, and I'll never try to speak from a female perspective because I can only thing I do as a man look from outside looking in.
Yep.
However, as a male, we're taught a self-destructive way of living.
Mm,
We're taught one, we hold our emotions in. We don't cry. You know, everything got to be tough. I got to be the biggest and I got to be the baddest. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, let's be clear. A man came out of woman
Yep.
as a little, a little woman in all of us. So we had to be able to tap into, you know, our emotions and our feelings. And I say that because, you know, our self-hate or our self-destructive mode comes from how we are groomed.
mm,
For example, when a child is born, you know, the psychosocial behavior of a kid is developed from ages 0 to 6. So in the second trimester, the mom that this child, or you know, let's speak on the male because that's what we're talking from the male perspective. So
mhm.
this boy child can hear everything going on, and you know, mom arguing with dad, mom having some negative feelings in her body, and this child is feeling all of this stuff. So now when this child comes out, this child, you know, they leave the hospital and they go home. So they go home for about the first, what, 5, 6 years. Everything that they should learn that's going to keep them for the rest of their life, they should learn it at home.
Hmm.
So now you got to think about, okay, what's going on in the home? You know, are they listening to Sexy Red and they listening to, you know, Hoodlum A and Hoodlum B and every other word is F this and MF and MF. So what do you expect the child to be? What do you expect this young man to be? You don't expect him to be able to tap into his emotions because everything that this child is seeing, and the babies emulate what they see. So
That's good.
what this boy child is seeing is what this child's going to emulate. So now this child grows into a man and be like, okay, I've never been taught that by my dad. And so to give you another example, I remember one time I was standing outside the church And it was a hot summer day, and I'm looking, and this thought, it was God. He said, look at this situation. So there was a young man walking down the street. Whoever he was talking to on the phone, he was cussing them out, and it sounded like he was talking to a female because every other word was be this, be this, be this. And so he was walking. I remember he had the phone in the right hand. He had a rolled up blunt on the left, no shirt on. His pants are hanging down. His drawers are showing. So he was walking. But about 4 steps behind him was a little boy. And the little boy's walking behind the man. And I'm assuming it was his dad. And so as I'm sitting and looking at this, clearly God spoke and was like, this child is watching what the father's doing. This is what he's going to grow up to be. When in actuality, so the father could be the protector, or the young man be the protector, that child should have been in front of that dad. So the dad can monitor everything that was going on. Eventually, as the dad get older, the young one will be behind the dad. But in the beginning, the child should be in front of the dad. So it's a way that we're taught.
Mm-hmm. It's a foundation, a product of
okay, but
the environment.
Before we get into this next question, I have a side question. But having daughters, though, right? And even as you have seen young ladies throughout your school educational time, do you see them harming themselves with self-hate in
Yes.
the way that they, and
Yes.
and what do you feel it triggers their self-hate from your perspective?
All of us want to be loved.
Mm,
All of us want to be loved. And we can talk about love, whether it's philios, eros, or agape. We can talk about that all day long.
right.
However, I can't teach, from my perspective, a parent can't teach love if a parent don't know love.
Ooh, that's good.
Say
That's
it for
good.
the people in the back.
That's
What?
good. That's good.
Can't teach something that you don't know.
Ooh,
And there's no parenting handbook.
none.
And can I interject right there? There's a different type of love that a mother can give versus a father can give as well.
True. And I have a unique situation. My youngest daughter, when she was born, her mom was hemorrhaging. So her first hour on the earth was spent with me. So I was the one to make the skin on skin contact. So our relationship a little different. And, I remember writing a paper in school about how a secured attachment affects a child in the educational system. And I use my daughter as an
example.
I don't want to call her guinea pig, but as an example.
I love
I
it.
used it as an example. And I mean, like the first day of school, she was telling me, Dad, I'm gonna have this. I'm good. I'm gonna have this. Okay, we good. Man, I got to school that first day and I know I had to take off because I'm emotional. I'm an emotional male. I cried to drop of a dime. And so I got ready to leave and she lost her mind. Oh, I want my daddy. Oh, I want my daddy. I want my daddy. And so I'm crying, she crying. Next day it happened again.
The next day too, huh?
The third day, the teacher put me out. They said, you got to go. You got to go. And I'm leaving. I'm sitting in the parking lot. And each day.
In the parking lot, Kate?
In the parking lot. Each day got better. And, I was just crying. And then like the second week, she was like, Dad, I got this. I don't need you to walk me in. And it was interesting because, she just started college 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
That part.
Congratulations to her, but I feel old. Oh my God.
Right. She grown now. They got that car and be out here in these streets.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Awesome. But no, that's good. I think that is part of our self-destruction as women is the fact that we lack love. And yeah, it's a whole lot.
Women should receive the love. Men, we just want to be respected. Just don't talk crazy to me.
But it's also like what love looks like in that individual's mind as well.
That part. And trust and believe it ain't listening to Sexy Red bounce around all day long either.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
Now I
ain't
know
want to talk.
Now, so I know you mentioned, our atmospheres affect our the way we look at ourselves with the self-hate. We see it differently as far as male versus female, but where do you think the self-hate starts? Does it start, like you said, does it start from the womb, and because of all the commodity, they just feel low, whoa, it's me all the time? They play this victim role, or do we pick it up, throughout our adolescence? Or is it tragic situations? How do you think it starts?
I'm finna date myself. Have you ever seen the movie? I talk a lot in movies. Have you ever seen the movie Trading Places?
Which one? There's a couple of them.
No, it's only one.
No. I know what you're talking about. Okay, never mind.
The Disney one, the Trading Places.
Oh my God!
I think you're thinking about the same one I'm thinking about.
It's an Eddie Murphy movie.
Okay.
See? Sorry, South Dakota girl should have been quiet.
So
he's dating
this
himself.
movie, this
Fine,
movie
go
was
ahead, talk about it.
Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, and so Eddie Murphy was a con artist living on the street, but Dan Aykroyd was he sold commodities. He was a trader, a wealthy guy. So these two rich white guys, they said, well, basically we could have them to switch places. And so what he told him, it was a bet. He told one of the brothers, told the other brother that I could take a person from the street and he can come here and run our business. And they was prejudiced anyway. And he said, no, you can't do it. And they bet $1 to see who could do it. Well, they did switch places. Dan Aykroyd, who was the millionaire, they fondled his life. And so he wound up going homeless on the street. And they took in Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy became what Dan Aykroyd was. But Eddie Murphy, he was slick and had that black side. So what wound up happening was they finally met and they put the two rich guys who changed their lives into the poorhouse. With all that being said, in a paradigm shift, you have to you take a person out their environment, because if the environment is toxic, no matter what you do, it's going to be toxic. You have to take them out of this environment, and when you take them out the environment, now they see things different. Like if you take a person who's used to being in a house and gunshots all day long, you put them somewhere and you don't hear all of that stuff, it becomes weird. No noise and things of that nature. And when you think about children, you got to think children emulate what they see the adults around them do.
Facts.
If I'm yelling and screaming, guess what they're gonna think communication is? Yelling and screaming. If I'm calm, they gonna think, when a person gets to yelling and screaming, I'm like, they crazy. So there's a whole lot that can go into the question that you ask. But I think also, again, it all depends on the person that's doing the observation. What was your parenting like? I'm my mom's only child, but out of my dad, I'm 5 of 15. I didn't meet my sister, my siblings until I got older. But my rearing come from what my grandmother, my mother taught me. It wasn't what my dad taught me or what my siblings taught me. It's what I saw. And I saw value and I saw family gatherings. It was so many of us that we can have a party and not invite nobody. My mom had 14 siblings.
Wow.
So we could do our own thing. And, so in essence, what I'm saying is a whole lot of it has to do with environment. But at the same time, it also goes back to the upbringing and the parents, because even though we grew up in a gang infested area, my grandmother didn't play no games.
Okay.
So none of my uncles was in gangs, none of them. And even, Jeff Ford and the Main 21s came to my house. My grandmother wasn't having it.
That's good. That's
Mhm.
good.
So is self-hate the same as low self-esteem?
Mm, some might say yes, and I would probably say no. So if you think like self-hate, okay, now sometimes it's hard for people to comprehend when you say self-hate. So let's say if I use, mental illness, you can have a person who has mental illness and then they function. That don't necessarily mean they got low self-esteem. They just
True.
got a chemical imbalance in their body, and they may not know how to regulate certain things, and stress may overwhelm them. Most people say I live a stress-free life. That's not true. That is not true. You're
So it's not.
supposed
It's
to
never possible. It's
no,
never possible.
you're supposed to have stress. Stress is, is like a from an endorphin that was released into your body. You're supposed to have stress. It's how you manage stress.
Mm.
When you go to a hospital and they put you on the EKG, they put them things on your heart and they go boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop, boop. And so what that does is it goes up and down. So it's telling you life is ups and downs.
Yeah.
When you hear ooh, that's a straight line. I mean, you didn't want to meet your
Flat
mate.
line. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you went to meet your mate. So you can't say that you and then you think about a person with low self-esteem, which a person is not born with that. There are some things that's not common or that comes into that. Like example, when I grew up, I had low self-esteem because I was the darkest and I was always the heaviest. However, I always played sports. So that's where I hid at. But as I started getting older, society and like right now with our young people, this fad with these social media, you got to look like this, or you got to have these, and you got to have these Jordans, or you got to have these dunks, because it's all about a self-image. It's not the clothes that make the person. You should feel confident about yourself before you even put on the clothes. And I could have on dirty clothes all day long, and I still think I'm like the sexiest thing this side of heaven. But at the same time, you have to be able
Dr.
to know,
K.
are they the same? And they are not. Because you can have a functioning person that have low self-esteem. But do I think one leads to another? I do.
Oh, okay. Because that was gonna be my next question. So I'm like, hang on. It comes with
Yes.
observation. It comes with judgment and all this
Yes.
stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes.
So now explain that.
Because I think that a person like with low self-esteem, eventually, if they get caught in the midst of that and now low self-esteem, now they self-medicate. Now they
Mhm.
taking their pituitary gland to a place that it can't come back from, and they seeking this first high or this first drug. I mean, this first drink or whatever it might be. So now one thing is leading to another. But if we can help with the low self-esteem, and sometimes even like with young people, as an educator, we quick to tell them when they're doing right. I mean, wrong. We should be quick to tell them when they're doing right.
Mhm.
It's good.
We probably
Mhm.
get a better outlook from them and a smile. Smile sometime.
Okay. Just a
As the
smile.
person who has the resting bee face.
He said he's growing. You gotta give him some
Oh, okay,
credit.
he's good. He's
See,
good. I'm
see,
sorry. I'm
it's
sorry.
positive. You're
Well,
growing, huh?
I can say that because me being shot in my face with a 380 hollow point, so it's a reason my face the way that it is. But I've been practicing to do better.
Got it.
Amen.
Got it.
Amen. So
Amen.
now leads us to the church question, saints of God. So now that you've clarified self-hate and even how self-esteem kind of is a stepping stone, I guess, in a bad way, to it all. Can self-hate be a spiritual battle?
It could,
Okay.
and if one loses focus, and what I mean by one loses focus, the word focus, defined in Merriam-Webster dictionary, means just to open up the optic nerve. All it means is just to open up your eye. You could be looking at something, but that don't necessarily mean it's clear. So if I took my glasses off, I can't see across the room. how do I make this thing clear? I have to get closer. So I get closer to whatever it is. Now, many of us lose focus, and it is not our intention to lose focus. We could be sitting dead in the church, and the word is going forward, and we see God right in front of us, but it's not clear.
Yeah.
And we'll allow somebody to intercept, and we'll think, okay, well, this person is my friend. This person is not going to cause me to go and do something, harmful to me or anything else. When actually they spiral and they cause me to spiral because I'm not really paying attention. Because we were taught, you don't put no man before God. But however, we do it, and wind up, anger would take you further than you want to go, and it keep you longer than you intended to stay. Now we didn't got angry. God, why did this happen? Why did this happen? And so now, because I'm upset with what the saints of God probably did to me, or what I allowed them to do to me, now that turns into that thing that you mentioned about the self-hate. Now, I'm at home by myself. I done went and got me some wine coolers. To start off with the wine coolers, because that don't do nothing for me. Then I done moved up to the what they call the Wild Irish Rose. Do they even still sell that stuff? And then I got the bird and the grapefruit juice.
Oh God.
Now it's all about the self-medication. And so anything, the self-medication, now this is causing us not to think clear. And even with depression.
That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that we're not thinking clear, then is that where the spiritual battle
Correct.
comes into?
Psalm 91 said, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God should abide in the shadow of the Almighty. If I know I'm abiding in the shadow of Almighty, where do fear come in at? And if I dwell there, that means that's where my house is at. That's where my thoughts are at. That's where my people. That's where my associates are at. But we don't think like that, and it's okay.
We don't. It is okay, right?
And it's okay, because it's a stepping stone.
It is.
But you can't be like the Israelites. A trip that should have took them 11 days took them 40 years.
40 years.
Because they was walking in a circle, murmuring and complaining. Why God, I don't know why God blessed them. Why they got this? And why they got this big old house? I remember when they didn't have nothing yet, murmuring and complaining.
Okay, so let's talk about that just a little bit, because let's say it's not necessarily murmuring and complaining, but we play this "woe, it's me," because sometimes people's perspective, once again, is hard to change, because all they've seen is disappointment, and bad things continuously keep happening. And because I don't know if you've ever talked to somebody and they're always like, well, that won't happen to me, or stuff of that nature. So how do you
Debbie Downer?
That part, okay? So how do you address that spiritually?
Okay, so so as long as y'all know me, I'm always a person that's like direct to the point. It is. So when I hear people talk like that, I got to give them in counseling, you have a thing called truth therapy. So if a person is telling me an untruth, I'm supposed to cut them off and give them the truth right behind it. So you ain't got to be telling me the untruth. I'm going to just cut you off, And I'll do it. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of it either. So it's just funny that you mentioned that one day. So about a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to somebody at my job, and every word this man said out his mouth was just negative, 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 negative. So I said, he was talking, and I just busted out and said, man, when the last time you been to a funeral? He looked at me. I said, yeah, you looking at me like I'm crazy. I said that. When the last time you been to a funeral? And he said, a couple months ago, a friend of mine, yeah, he got murdered and blah, blah, blah. And it was all down. I was like, really? I said, did you go to the funeral? He was like, yeah. I said, okay. I said, how long did you stay? He was like, I stayed through the whole service, And I said, walk me. So basically, I gave him a mental paradigm shift. So he started telling me about this funeral. And he said, yeah, and they opened up the casket and he had on blah, 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 blah. He was laying there. I said, he was laying there. I said, how was he laying there? He looked at me like bewildered. He said, he was just laying there. I said, no, how was he laying there? Was he facing the ground or was he turned sideways? He said, no. I said, how was he facing? He said, up. I said, so even the dead man got enough sense to look up. How much more can we that live? What should we do? We should look up because our Redeemer is not. We should look up.
That's good.
And then he just stopped and looked at me. And I said, you need a minute to think about that, don't you? I walked away.
Facts. And Kane's good for that. But
he came and found me about an hour later. And he was like, man, what you said was real.
That is.
Sometimes it's all in our posture. All we got to do is look up.
That's
all
good.
we got to do is look up. And the students asked me, well, Dr. Kane, how you doing today? I said, man, if I could wake up and know who I am, that's half the battle. Not many people don't wake up, but they still looking up.
Okay. That part. And that is what we need to be grateful for. That's good. That's good.
So how or where do you start to overcome self-hate?
So you're meaning from the perspective of a who, like a saint?
Both.
Okay. In some shape, form, or fashion, we all are born knowing right and wrong. No other way around it. For those who come to the knowledge of Christ and that Christ died for us, say, let us create man in our own image and our own likeness. God is a spirit, so he couldn't have been talking about let us create because we could see each other. Spirits you can't see. So he had to have been talking about our characteristics and how we are on the inside. If I know I was created in the image of God, created he, them, male, female, and called them Adam, that means I was created in a way unlike anybody else on this earth.
Come on.
So I have to start beginning to think about where I originated from, where I came from, and what happened. And, women are such women, they're, you think that they have this power that God given them, the ability that they can give life. Nothing else can do it. Life. And so when you think of that, you have to think about, okay, how was I conceived from the beginning? Let's go all the way back to the beginning. And if God created me in his image and in his likeness, sometimes I have to be reminded of that.
That's good.
I have to be reminded of that. That's why KMOJ play the radio every hour on hour. Because when you hear it the first time, if you don't remember something in the first 20 seconds, you'll forget it. Then you hear it again and they rehearse it every day. And it gets put in your short-term memory. After rehearsal, then it gets embedded into your long-term memory. And then when you need it to come out, somebody start talking about how great we were created. It'll come out your long-term memory. You're like, yeah, wait a minute. Wait. Yeah. And I was listening. I was flipping through YouTube the other day and I heard this comedian say, you don't need to go to church. God ain't in no church. And I almost fell. I said, yep, I got to stop. I can't even allow you to come on my feed no more. Because at the same time, you'd think, well, I don't need to go to church. We all need to go receive some source from somewhere.
That's
myself
good.
Included. That's just like why I used to go to the clubs back in the day, because I went with somewhere with those that was like me.
Facts.
I can't go get no source from them that's not like me. So, yeah, I'll leave that right there.
No, that's good. So it's really, we have to take a self-reflection in the sense of, okay, where am I drawing from? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. Where am I drawing drawing from, right?
And when you said
it.
this, when you say self-reflection, self means you.
Facts.
Anytime you see the prefix re on the beginning of a word, it means a do-over.
Yes.
So if you got to reflect, that means you got to constantly do it over. Do it over. Do it over. And most people don't see their own wrong. They rather point fingers.
Say it.
Take that L, forgive yourself, and move on.
And move on. That's it.
Because it's easier to point fingers the opposite way than this way.
Listen, and we talked about it last show.
We did. We did.
Get delivered from the victim mindset. But no, that's good. That is
correct.
So good. That is so good. That is so good. All right. So as we start this journey of overcoming, self-hate and changing our atmospheres, taking time to reflect, would you mind sharing with us your experience with self-hate personally?
Sure. I mean, and most that don't know me, I have a story to tell.
Facts.
I have a story to tell. From the gangbanging at 11 to high school to barely graduating high school. Only way I graduated out of high school, teacher changed my grade. I think I graduated with a 1.3 GPA, left high school, went to the Army thinking that was going to give me some discipline. Actually, it did give me some discipline. I learned a lot of things while I was in the Army. Left the Army, went to Illinois State, left Illinois State. One of my friends set me up with a DEA agent, left Illinois State, went to prison. It was in prison when I found out how smart I really was.
Wow.
And one of the, hey, Debbie, one of the chiefs of the gang that I belonged to, they called me schoolboy, and he would be like, schoolboy, you're too smart. You should be out here helping our young people. And I'm like, I had to come all the way here to hear how smart I was. 5 months later, after I got out of prison, 13-year-old walked up and shot me with a .380 hollow point blank range in my face. So the trauma that I had been through, it just escalated.
Wow.
And mind you, after that, I moved to Minnesota. And, God opened some doors, and I accepted Christ as my personal savior October 12th, 1997, 3245 Penn Avenue North. However, the crazy thing about it was all the things that I have went through, I had never seen anyone for the trauma I had been through. Never seen anyone. And I thought that just, having the Holy Ghost and being in the church, that was going to be enough.
Wow. It
was not. And many may argue with me, God will deliver you, and that's foolish, because we all have our own personal thorns.
Yeah.
We have our personal thorns that keeps us humble.
Yeah.
And even though I tried to stay humble, it wasn't just until recently that I was diagnosed with severe depression.
Wow.
I was diagnosed with severe depression. And as I got to thinking about it, I was like, God, why would you let all this stuff come up now? He said, because you just been packing this stuff down. Wow. And you haven't went and really dealt with it. You've been doing all this stuff. You've been out here helping everybody else, and you ain't been focused on you. And you've been helping everybody else and not focused on you. So that's why I'm bringing it to your attention, like right now. And it happened in a split second, in the blink of my eye. I kid you not. And like in 1 week's time, I would wake up and wonder, I would just start crying. I know why I'm crying.
Oh.
What's really going on? And it took a good friend to sit down and just listen to me talk. And I said, you know what? Let me go to the doctor. And when I say I stayed in the bed, because I had a part-time job, I'm always got to hustle.
Always, listen.
I quit the part-time job, and then I had more time on my hand. So now this stuff started coming up out of me, coming up out of me. I would wake up literally crying and go to sleep crying. My mind would race at night. If my mind, I would be up at like, I would lay down about 8. I wouldn't go to sleep till about 5 in the morning because I'm going through rabbit holes, rabbit holes, rabbit holes. And, I love what I do for my fraternity because it helps keeps me on track. I ain't want nothing to do with the fraternity. As far as the fraternity, it was like I almost became invisible.
Wow.
Even though I would see different brothers and things of that nature. And so when I went to the doctor and the doctor gave me an assessment, it was like, yeah, you are severe depression. You dealing with severe depression. Oh, really? You know what? You the professional. If any among you, let them call for the elders. You the elder right now. You like me. You the physician in here.
That part.
You gave me my diagnosis. Let me do what you said. You said, take this, and take this. Amen. It has worked wonders for me thus far.
Wow.
Amen.
It has worked wonders for me thus far. It has even caused me to think about the things more that I miss about God. I'm not where I need to be, but at the same time, I'm not where I used to be.
Come on and testify.
And so I think that personally, I'm an open book, but I'll never be one to point a finger at another person when I know that he, without sin, cast the first stone.
That part.
Because I got to get me together. But if I can say, Liz, it has been a up and down. It has not been no battle, because a battle don't come unless you're fighting against it.
Wow.
If God brought something to me as a revelation, that means I'm supposed to go do something about it.
Come on. Because I was just going to ask you, did you ever have any self-doubt, or did you want to fight that diagnosis when he said it?
Because we busy ourselves with everything. We busybodies.
Facts. Listen,
we busybodies.
The queen of it. Okay.
we busybodies, and and I'm guilty of it. God be trying to talk to me, and I'm too busy doing this. I'm too busy doing this, and I'm too busy doing this. And when I quit that job, I had all this time on my hand, and all of this stuff just started to happen. And I'm like, this not happening for no reason, because it's coming up, and it's going to make me a better person. It's going to make me a better father. It's going to make me a better educator. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, let me go see this doctor. So, I got a therapist, no secret. I got a therapist because, saints of God, we run around here talking about, we got the Holy Ghost and we almighty. Stop playing with me.
Listen.
I got them in place for a reason.
For a whole reason.
Listen, Luke, and, you go read the Bible. Luke was with them.
Luke was a doctor.
Luke was a doctor. He was outside looking in. But you go look in the book of Acts. I want to say it's about chapter 9 or 10. It went from them and they to us and our. He got converted and was a doctor.
Facts.
That part. So I need to go get my members together.
All professions need Jesus.
Right.
Okay.
And we need those professions.
Because we're only gonna tell people what we want them to know. Let's be clear.
Real. That's real.
Let's be clear.
That's real.
So I have a nice therapist. She cool. She's an older white lady. And somebody asked me, said, "Why? Wait. Why? Why you don't want a black person?" I said, "You don't understand. I'm looking for a confirmation. I don't want nobody to come from where I come from and speak what I speak. I want to come from way across the land. And if they talking what I'm talking about, I know it's gonna be right."
That's good. That's
mm-hmm.
good. Mm-hmm. That's good. Were you defensive when you started therapy?
Absolutely not. I ran to that thing.
Did you? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. I ran to it. I was like, yes, come on, see me. Yes.
He said,
I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be a better person. And as much trauma as I've been through in my life, I mean, think about it. I went from running on a basketball court 3 to 4 times a week, at least 4 hours, to 0. I got a metal leg now. So
wow.
Metal hip. So me running like I used to ain't like all that now.
It ain't happening. I hear you.
Went to the doctor. I was there 2 weeks ago. 2 months ago, and the doctor told me, man, you got on scale, you 240. I said, the lies you tell. The lies you tell. I done got down to like 230.
He said, fix your scale, sir.
Yeah, that thing in that line.
Denial is an ugly thing.
Oh, well, thank you. We appreciate you being transparent with that. And I think that is, you hit so many deep things. First of all, not only saints of God deal with depression, but let's talk about it. Cain is a leader too, okay? And leaders definitely have some internal issues sometimes that we need to deal with.
Yep.
And sometimes when we are in the busybody of doing the work, whether it's the work of the Lord or just leading on a natural, we tend to, like you said, to ignore ourselves, and God will get our attention, even for our mental health, even for our spiritual and mental health together. And it wasn't by accident, and how strategically the Lord will do it. He will make you lose jobs. He will put you in places you don't want to be, but yet it's perfect for you. I mean, just all of that. And so thank you for being transparent. And I pray that this this testimony, this testament of his walk, his life, helps somebody, not only in your self-hate mindset, but even just in the sense of, if you're dealing with something, get help. Don't be hard-headed. Do not sit there and act like you don't have something wrong.
Yes,
It's okay.
it is
Okay?
okay. It's okay to not be okay.
Come on. Those are the best. That's the best line. Okay.
When you know better, you do better.
That too. Yes.
And you will be surprised how far you can go and become and see a whole new you. So if you are tired of where you've been at, maybe you need to take some time and get some help. It's okay. So thank you, Dr. Cain. I mean, I was touched by that myself. Trying to hold back tears. Joe, you want to close us? Because we're not going there.
No, it really was an amazing testimony, and thank you, Dr. Cain, for being very transparent. And I pray to God that you did touch some of our viewers and those who are catching the replay. You know, let us know. Let us know if this touched you guys. You know, we like to hear you guys' testimony as well. You know, we do this for a reason, and we get our guests to speak and be transparent, or they are transparent for a reason. You know, God has us choosing very specific speakers for a reason. So let us know your thoughts and how God moves on your behalf, and if it's ministering to you or speaking to you in any kind of capacity. And we're grateful for that. We give God praise if that's even happening. So Dr. Cain, any final remarks or advice that you want to give our viewers or anyone before we?
It's interesting you use the word transparent. You know, the root word of trans means like locomotion or move. It has to have something of movement. You know, we'll walk around like nothing affects us, and we don't have feelings, and we don't have emotions, and we do. And, you know, and it's no secret. I went through a period of church hurt. And when I say, oh my God, I thought it was the worst thing this side of heaven. I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
Been there. Understand.
I don't wish that on my worst enemy. But all it did was brought me back to a sense of put all my trust in no man.
Ooh.
Yes. Yes.
But
that's word. That's word right there.
If you got something going on, seek help. Seek help. Because, you know, nothing worse than you coming in and seeing, you know, and this person has happened to me. I watched, you know, when my friends came into the kitchen with it to his 2 kids and his girlfriend, and his mom was there and blew his brains out.
Jesus.
Don't ever want something to get to that point. You got something going on, and you know, find you somebody that you don't know that you need to talk to. You don't need a yes person in this situation.
Mm.
Come on. Say it
You
for
don't need a
people
yes
in the back. Say it again.
You don't need a yes person. You know,
At
somebody
all.
that's gonna nod with you and agree with you, because that's not gonna get
Well,
you where you need to go.
Come on.
Misery loves company. And then don't get a person that you trying to tell them what's going on with you, and they take over a conversation and they come about them.
Ooh.
mm.
I'm just saying, and I don't know.
He said, I'm going to sip on my tea.
I'm just saying. But I was humble to be here. You know,
No.
I've been off the radar for a while, but now it's time to handle business.
Facts.
Stand on business.
Listen, that's it. That is it. No, we thank you for just being on this platform. Lord, this is a treat, okay? Like, this is going to go down in history.
Yes.
We had Dr. Leonard Kane on
Yes.
Tea Time with Liz and Friends, and we truly appreciate that. And
Yes.
that last bit of advice. And even if you need somebody to reach out to, talk to, push you, help you, stay accountable, reach out to us. We will be that person, okay?
Mhm.
Listen, don't get it twisted. We are here to not only give help and advice and testimonies, but yet we are here to also do ministry and to serve you. So feel free to reach out to us, whether you hit us up in the DMs or through email. We will definitely find a way to connect with you, because God's got work for all of us. So that was good. That's all I got to say, Joe. It's on you.
I agree with everything. So we're here. We're not just here on Mondays. We come on every other Mondays, but we're here Monday through Friday just to reach out to us when you need somebody to talk to, somebody to pray. Somebody.
We got a lot of shout outs. He got the whole clan out. We had
Yes, people
Miss
were
Tanya.
happy.
If you all, once again, let me just put a plug in. If you have not registered for the Unleashed retreats, please do so.
Yes,
Definitely want to get involved in that. That is coming up in October,
Yes.
October 4th and 5th. So you can definitely still register for that. That is here, located in the Minneapolis area. It will be held at the Hilton Gardens, Minneapolis, in Bloomington.
Mhm.
Make sure you pick the right one. So go to the website. I'm not good. Go to the website and register and get the information on where it will be.
Yes.
Also,
And Liz will be speaking.
yeah. Your girl will be there. Your girl will be there. Your girl will be there. But also we have a bonus episode this month. Since we are talking about self-care, reflection and all that, we got to deal with the outside too. Okay. So we got nobody but the best in the Midwest. Okay.
Yes.
We got Miss, what did I say? Miss Coco. Coco by Fashions is coming to Tea Time with Liz and Mr. Cortland Pickens.
Ooh.
Come on, and they are going to give us some fashion advice. What is in, what is not in, how to wear it, not to wear it.
Yes.
So you all get ready for that. That will be aired on September 3rd. So stay tuned for that bonus episode.
September
all right?
30th.
30th. Yes, Laura. See, I needed to stop talking. Go ahead. You got it.
Live and uncut.
Facts. September 30th. There we go. All right.
Amen. 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 So
That's it. That's all.
that's it. That's
All
it.
right.
That's all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.